AITA for ruining my sister's wedding after discovering she deliberately sabotaged my friendship at the bachelorette? My best friend was getting married. I was maid of honor. My sister was a bridesmaid. Everything seemed perfect, or at least as perfect as wedding planning can be. The bachelorette party was in Nashville. I planned it. We had a blast. I organized a few games for the bachelorette. We went to a honky-tonk bar. I remember we danced a lot. We drank a lot, too. I made sure my best friend did not overdo it. I did not want her to have a bad night. I wanted her to remember having fun with her closest friends. Everyone seemed happy. I thought the weekend was a success. I now wonder if something happened that I did not see. Maybe someone said something that upset her. Maybe someone did something when I was not looking. I have no idea. I wish I did. I tried to give her space. I figured wedding stress was a real thing. I went through it myself a few years ago. I know it is not fun. Still, her behavior felt different. It felt like she was avoiding me specifically. I started to get worried. I wondered if I had done something wrong. I replayed the bachelorette weekend in my head. I could not think of anything I did that would make her mad. I hoped she would open up to me soon. I did not want her to shut me out. A few weeks after the bachelorette, my best friend started acting weird, distant. She canceled our usual coffee dates. She took longer to respond to texts. I asked her what was wrong. She said she was just stressed about the wedding. I believed her. I wanted to be supportive. Then, about a month before the wedding, she called me. She said she needed to talk to me about something serious. She sounded upset. She told me some of the other girls from the bachelorette party told her I spent the whole time complaining about her, saying mean things about her dress, and flirting with random guys at the bars. She said they told her I even made fun of her relationship with her future husband. I asked her who told her these things. She wouldn't tell me their names. She said she did not want to cause any more drama. I told her it was important for me to know so I could defend myself. I felt betrayed that she wouldn't even give me a chance to clear my name. I considered ending the call. I wanted to hang up on her. I knew that wouldn't solve anything. I begged her to reconsider believing these people. I asked her how she could believe these strangers over her best friend. I told her I was hurt. I told her I was disappointed. I told her I thought she knew me better than that. She remained firm in her decision. She said she felt uncomfortable having me stand beside her at the wedding after what she had supposedly done. She said maybe we could talk about it after the wedding. She said maybe we could salvage our friendship then. I felt like she was already choosing them over me. I told her if she really felt that way, I would step down. I told her I wouldn't want to make her uncomfortable on her big day. I told her I loved her and wanted her to be happy, even if it meant not being a part of her wedding. I ended the call. I was floored. I did none of those things. I love my best friend. I would never intentionally hurt her. I tried to explain this to her. I told her whoever told her those things was lying. She said she wanted to believe me, but several people told her the same story. She said she needed space. She asked me to step down as maid of honor. I was devastated. I lost my best friend and my role in her wedding because of lies. I tried to figure out who would do this to me. I couldn't think of anyone except my sister. She always seemed a little jealous of my friendship with the bride. She always made snide comments about how I was the favorite friend. I thought back to the weeks leading up to the wedding. I remembered my sister asking a lot of questions about my conversations with the bride. I dismissed it as simple curiosity at the time. Now I realized she was gathering information to use against me. I thought about how happy I was to be a part of the wedding. I wanted to support my friend. My sister took that away from me. The betrayal cut deep. I never expected her to do something like this. I asked my sister why she couldn't just be happy for me. I asked her why she felt the need to tear me down. She didn't have a good answer. She just kept repeating that she was jealous. I told her that her actions were selfish and cruel. I said she had ruined our relationship. I don't know if I can ever fully trust her again. The damage is done. I confronted my sister. She denied everything at first. She said I was being paranoid. I pressed her. I told her I knew she was behind it. Eventually, she broke down and admitted it. She said she was tired of me always being the center of attention. She said she wanted to see what it felt like to be the favorite for once. She thought if she ruined my friendship with the bride, she could get closer to her. I was furious. I couldn't believe my own sister would do something so cruel and calculated. I didn't know what to do. The wedding was only a few weeks away. My best friend still wasn't talking to me. I spent the next few days in a haze. I went to work and did my job. I ate and slept. I went through the motions of my life. But all I could think about was what my sister did. My anger grew stronger each day. It festered and consumed me. I started to think about ways to make her feel the way she made me feel. I knew I shouldn't. I knew it would make me just as bad as her. I couldn't help it. I replayed the events over and over. I thought about her smug face when she told me. I remembered the way she twisted the knife. I pictured the hurt in my best friend's eyes. I considered confronting her. I considered telling my parents. I considered calling off the wedding. None of those options felt right. They wouldn't truly make her understand the damage she caused. They wouldn't give me the satisfaction I craved. Then, I had an idea. A terrible, awful, revenge-fueled idea. My sister has a secret, a big one. She's been having an affair with a married coworker for over a year. I found out about it a few months ago when I accidentally saw some steamy text messages on her phone while she was in the shower. I didn't say anything because I didn't want to cause drama. I tried to ignore it. I figured it was her life and her choice. I convinced myself it wasn't my place to interfere. I hate confrontation and I thought maybe it would fizzle out on its own. I just couldn't stand the idea of causing a huge fight within the family, especially with the holidays coming up. Everyone always seemed so stressed out then, and I didn't want to add to it. I thought maybe if I just stayed out of it, the whole thing would blow over and no one would get hurt. At least, that's what I hoped would happen. I was wrong. The situation has gotten worse. I recently found out the coworker is planning on leaving his wife for my sister. Apparently, he told her that he's completely in love with her and can't imagine his life without her. I know his wife, and she's a nice person. She doesn't deserve any of this. My sister knows she's married, and she doesn't care. I feel like I need to do something before it's too late and his wife gets blindsided. I am tired of keeping this secret. But now, drama was exactly what I wanted. The day before the wedding, during the rehearsal dinner, after the speeches, when everyone was drunk and happy, I stood up. I grabbed the microphone. I cleared my throat. I had not planned this. I felt nervous. My hands shook as I held the microphone. I could see my parents looking at me from across the room. My sister and her future husband were seated at the head table. Everyone was looking at me. I knew I had to say something. I thought about all the things I wanted to say, and what I should actually say. I hoped I did not ruin the wedding. I wanted to be honest. I felt like I had to be. I wanted my sister to know some things before she married him. I did not want to keep quiet any longer. I knew this could cause a problem. I decided it was worth the risk. I decided to go ahead with it. I told myself it was now or never. I started by saying how happy I was for my sister. I said she looked beautiful in her bridesmaid dress. Then, I paused. I took a deep breath. I said, I also want to take this opportunity to share something that's been weighing on my heart. I paused and took a breath. Everyone at the table looked at me. I could feel the tension in the room. I wanted to choose my words carefully. This was not an easy thing for me to talk about. I did not want to cause more problems. I had to say something. I needed them to understand how I felt. I hoped they would listen. I hoped they would be supportive. I spoke slowly and deliberately. I told them about finding the old letters. I explained how I felt reading them. I described the questions I had. I shared my confusion and hurt. I tried to remain calm while talking. I did not want my emotions to overwhelm me. I watched their faces as I spoke. I noticed my mother shifted in her chair. I saw my brother glance at his wife. I looked directly at my sister. Her face paled. She knew what was coming. I looked directly at my sister. Her face paled. She knew what was coming. I proceeded to tell everyone about her affair. I described the text messages I saw. I even mentioned the co-worker's name and his wife's name. I didn't hold back. I spilled everything. I watched their faces as I spoke. I recounted every detail I could remember. I explained how I discovered the messages on her phone. I detailed the time she lied about where she was going. I even read aloud some of the more explicit texts. I felt justified in exposing her. I wanted them to understand the extent of her betrayal. I wanted her to feel the shame I felt. I knew it was a drastic measure, but I felt I had no other choice. I needed to release the anger and hurt I had been holding inside. I did not consider the consequences for everyone else in the room. I stopped talking and looked around. I saw the shock on their faces. The air felt heavy. Nobody moved. My mother gasped. My father stared at me with a disappointed look. I instantly regretted my actions. The fallout was immediate and devastating. I should have handled things differently. I underestimated the impact my words would have. The room went silent. You could hear a pin drop. My sister burst into tears and ran out of the venue. Her husband, who had no idea about the affair, looked like he was going to be sick. The co-worker's wife was there too. Her reaction was even worse. The rehearsal dinner was ruined. The wedding was a disaster. My sister's marriage is probably over. Her reputation is tarnished. But I don't care. She deserved it. She ruined my friendship. She lied about me. She tried to make me look bad. I just gave her a taste of her own medicine. My parents are furious with me. They said I embarrassed the family. They said I should have taken the high road. They said I ruined my sister's life. Some of my friends think I went too far. But other friends, the ones who know how much my best friend means to me, think I did the right thing. They said my sister had it coming. My best friend still isn't talking to me. But the bride's younger brother reached out. He said he knew my sister was behind the bachelorette lies. He said he overheard her bragging about it to another bridesmaid. He's been trying to convince his sister, the bride, that I was telling the truth. He said he hopes she will forgive me eventually. So, am I the Aholy for ruining my sister's life? Maybe, but honestly, I don't regret it. She messed with the wrong person. Update. A few days after the wedding debacle, my best friend called me. She apologized. She said her brother told her everything. She said she should have trusted me. She said she was so caught up in the wedding drama that she didn't think clearly. We talked for hours. We cried. We laughed. We apologized to each other. We're working on rebuilding our friendship. It won't be the same, but it will be something. As for my sister, she moved out. Her husband filed for divorce. She's lost her friends. Her coworker got fired. She's a pariah. I feel bad about what happened to her, a little bit, but I still think she deserved it. My parents are still angry with me. They said I should apologize to my sister. I refuse. She hasn't apologized to me. I know my actions were extreme. I know I could have handled things differently, but I was hurt and angry. I wanted revenge, and I got it. So, AITA? Maybe, probably, but I'm okay with that. Another update. I received a message from the co-worker's wife. It was long. She thanked me for exposing the affair. She said she had suspected something was going on for months, but she didn't have any proof. She said knowing the truth allowed her to move on with her life. She filed for divorce and is now seeing someone new. She said she knows what I did was controversial, but she believes I did the right thing. That made me feel a little bit better about the whole situation. It also made me realize how much my sister's actions hurt other people, not just me. Still, my parents remain convinced that I am evil incarnate. They have stopped speaking to me. Apparently, they're now dedicating their time to comforting my sister. I suppose I can understand their position, but it stings nonetheless. I lost my best friend for a while, and now I've lost my parents, all because my sister decided to wage war against me. I tried to explain to them that I wasn't the initial aggressor, but they refused to listen. They believe family should always come first, and that I should have protected my sister, regardless of her actions. They seem to think that public humiliation is worse than betrayal. I'm not sure I agree. My best friend is slowly forgiving me, but there is still some distance between us. She told me she needed time to fully process what happened. I respect that. I know I put her in a difficult position. I just hope we can eventually get back to where we were before all this drama started. As for my sister, I haven't spoken to her since the rehearsal dinner. I don't know if I ever will. She sent me a few angry text messages initially, but I blocked her number. I'm not interested in hearing her excuses or apologies. She made her bed, and now she has to lie in it. Several people have asked me if I regret what I did. The answer is complicated. On one hand, I feel guilty for causing so much pain and chaos. On the other hand, I feel vindicated. I stood up for myself. I exposed a liar and a cheater. I avenged my best friend. In the end, I think the good outweighs the bad. But that doesn't mean I'm not still wrestling with the consequences of my actions. It's a messy situation with no easy answers. I have started therapy because all this is weighing down. I am still not talking to my parents. I am happy my best friend is talking to me, and is considering me for the role I had lost. But it might take a while for all of it to get back to normal. I still have my group of friends, and they have been very supportive. They all think what my sister did was terrible, and they understand why I reacted the way I did. My therapist says I have to forgive myself in order to move forward. It is easier said than done. I am working on it. I think time will heal all wounds. I am also working on setting healthier boundaries in my relationships, especially with my family. I realize I can't control other people's actions, but I can control how I react to them.